What's going on YouTube? So here I am standing next to none other than the brand new and very nice looking 2022 Tundra Capstone. Capstone, of course, means high-end. This is the top trim level in the Tundra lineup, and it includes lots of new features that none of the other Tundras have because it is the top model. So I'm happy to be standing here in Monterey, California today to check this out. And without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in and check out what's different about the Capstone. So today I get to share with you guys the full specifications of this Capstone model, and most importantly, we get to take it out on a spin. That's coming up here in a second. But let's go ahead and start off with some of the exterior details, because this is a good place to begin with your differences with the Capstone model. One of the most obvious differences is going to be up here with your grille. You still have that same very, very large shape with this new generation of the Tundra. It goes almost down to the ground. But what's different about the Capstone is the details. So you're going to have body color surrounds. That's going to go down through here instead of chrome that you have on most of the other trim levels. And then inside of the grille itself, you're going to notice you have these silver bars that run across, and this more intricate type of black mesh which kind of weaves in and out of those bars. This just has a more sophisticated look versus the other trim levels with having those extra details. Up here in the center, you're going to notice you have the blue accented Toyota badge. That signifies this does have the iForce Max hybrid powertrain that's going to be standard on the Capstone model. Again, we're going to take that out on the road in just a second and tell you all about it. And then you also have your Tundra branding down here along the bottom. As far as the headlights, you're going to have the full premium LED headlights. They're going to be projector style with the 4 beams. You have the daytime running light that comes in this kind of L shape, and then you have the new sequential turn signal on this generation of the Tundra. And then down below that, you'll also find LED fog lamps. As we start to move around to the side of this truck, you're going to notice again some more details that make the Capstone a more sophisticated and premium version of the Tundra. This right here is one of the biggest differences. So you have 22-inch diamond cut alloy wheels with the contrast finish. This is the largest size wheel that's ever been equipped on a Tundra before, and obviously it is going to be the largest in the lineup. All the rest of the models are going to top out at 20-inch alloys. This one here is going to have the exclusive 22s, and they look very, very nice. The other detail I want to point out is the body colored moldings and trim around the wheel arches here. This is all going to be finished, like I said, in the body color. Most of the other models in the Tundra lineup are going to have the black trim. That complements the silver accents and chrome accents that you're going to see around the rest of the truck, including the ones that you have across the mirror for the mirror cap. You also have color contrast black. And while I'm talking about the mirrors, I might as well point out that they are auto dimming on the driver's side. You have power folding, you have blind spot monitoring, and obviously you are going to have heating.
Now, for the cab and different bed configurations that you can get for the Capstone, it's going to be very simple. It's going to be the Henry Ford style, one selection only. We have the crew cab with the 5.5-foot bed. You can't get that 6.5-foot bed. If you want that, you're going to have to go down to a lower trim. However, this is the most popular combination anyway, so I imagine most of you are going to be perfectly fine with this combination. Now, let's walk around to the back of the Capstone. They haven't really done a ton with the side design to make it different. You do have that Capstone badge over there on the door trim, and the rear is slightly different. Not a massive change from the regular Tundra, so we're still going to have our chrome handle right here. We have the Tundra stamped into the tailgate, and then we're also going to have the fully loaded premium LED taillights. These have the sequential turn signal, so these are very, very premium taillights. I love the design of them. And then if we drop down, we have our parking sensors right here. We have this silver piece, and we're going to have a tow hitch. So that's something I want to point out here. We have a 10,340 pound tow rating for this Capstone model. That's something that we couldn't talk about in our previous review, so that's something worth noting. If you're interested in towing in this Capstone with the hybrid, you have over 10,000 pounds, so that is a lot of capacity. Now, I do also want to mention a few things going on in the bed. So in order to open it up, we can use this handle right here. We also have the remote release, and then here on the left tail light, if your hands are full, you can just bump right in, and that's going to lower your tailgate down. Additionally, for the Capstone model, we do have the side step that power deploys out, and you can just step right on that and enter into the bed. Now the bed itself is 5.5 foot. We have LED lighting all around. We have the slides on all the sides. We have a 400-watt power outlet here on the right side as well. So you are going to have quite the nice bed for the Tundra Capstone. All right, guys, it's time to talk about your safety systems as well as the warranty for the Capstone. So for your safety systems, Toyota makes it really easy on me. It's going to be standard on every single Tundra model. Their Safety Sense 2.5 suite that includes forward emergency braking, lane keeping assist, auto high beams, as well as adaptive cruise control. The 2.5 throws in road sign detection, so that's going to be a little bit more of an advanced system that they've thrown in with this new Tundra. As far as your warranty is concerned, you are going to have a 3-year, 36,000 mile basic warranty, 5-year, 60,000 mile powertrain warranty. And if you're going to keep this Tundra for a long time and you're worried about the hybrid powertrain, well, guess what? Toyota has thrown in an additional warranty on top of that, a 10-year, 150,000 mile warranty on the hybrid components for this Capstone model. So you don't have to worry about it, giving out in at least the first 150,000 miles, because that will be covered under warranty. Well, guys, that's all for the outside of the Tundra Capstone. Drew's going to briefly talk about the interior, and then we're going to take it on a spin, which I'm really excited to show you all.
All right, so rolling on to the cabin of this Capstone. This, of course, is a very important aspect of this new truck because it's going to coddle you in luxury like no Tundra has ever done before. Now, a few days ago, we did produce another video where we were talking about a lot of the interior details, and I want to keep the focus of this video really on that iForce Max hybrid and going out in the drive. So I'm not going to spend a ton of time on all of the differences with the Capstone model in this specific video. If you want to see those things, go check out the other video. We get quite in depth there, but I will point out some of your highlights here and now. So with the Capstone, obviously upgraded materials is a big emphasis. So you're going to have the leather on the dashboard with the stitching details. You're going to have a lot of this open pore American walnut wood. Very nice, feels great to touch, looks great as well. Over here on the console, you have more of the wood trim, but you also have Capstone lettering across this part, and it does light up at nighttime with the ambient lighting, which looks super nice. And then a lot of the rest of the dash is going to be finished with the leather stitching details, and then more leather along the console and more of the wood here. The other big difference is what you're probably noticing, this color scheme and these seats. These are semi-aniline leather seats. So that is a type of leather that they use in high-end Lexus products. So this is, you could kind of think of this as almost the Lexus pickup truck in a sense. And the special two-tone finish. So you have white on the top, black on the bottom, color contrast stitching, quilting, perforation. Really lovely, lovely looking seats. Very comfortable, and the leather quality, of course, is A+. Other important interior pieces to point out, of course, standard 12.3-inch full digital gauges. Look really nice. You do have special displays because this is the hybrid, so it's telling you, when the engine is running, when you're running on full electric power, etc., etc. You also have the head-up display, standard on the Capstone, power adjusting heated steering wheel, and then the huge display. That's not exclusive to the Capstone, but it's just so impressive, I have to point it out. Really beautiful resolution, gigantic 14-inch display. You've got the built-in navigation, you've got wireless Android Auto and wireless Apple CarPlay, and the performance is 5 times faster with this new infotainment system designed in America than the previous Intune system. So definitely a big, big, big upgrade from the last generation Tundra model. Up at the top, you've got the auto dimming mirror, but you flip the switch, you have the rear camera mirror, cuts out all the back obstructions. You also have the 360 camera, so when you press the button, you can watch the truck spin all around in a 360 view. Very upgraded graphics on this system as well. And then you do have the panoramic sunroof in addition to that. And in the back, you do have some special touches as well. One of the biggest and coolest things I'm noticing is 3-stage heated and 3-stage ventilated seats. That's very uncommon. I think only the Ram 1500 has the vented seats as far as competition goes in the back. So that's a pretty rare feature to see on board. And you do also have your 2 USB ports and your household style outlet with the same beautiful semi-aniline leather seats. And a cool touch is the rear window sunshade. All right, guys, it is time to go under the hood with the new Tundra. Actually, we're going a little more than under the hood. Check this out. We have the full thing fully exposed. You got access to the entire powertrain to be able to see all of the details of this new iForce Max hybrid powertrain in the Tundra. So, what is this? Basically, it is a 1 electric motor hybrid system, not related to any other Toyota hybrids actually. For the Tundra, of course, the emphasis is on having power. That's kind of the most important thing. So it's going to be using a single electric motor paired to the same 3.5 liter twin turbo V6 that the standard model has. Now, as far as what that's producing, it's going to be 437 horsepower, 583 pound-feet of torque. That is a lot of torque and pretty substantial gains over the standard Tundra model. Also, a little bit more than the Ford F-150 Powerboost hybrid. So you have that little bragging point if you buy one of these. How this kind of works in operation, and we'll talk about this a little more in the test drive, but it's designed really for the electric motor to kind of fill in torque while the turbos are spooling on the 3.5 twin turbo V6, kind of giving you a lot of torque and right from the very beginning when you first take off. But let's share some details now that weren't previously available, and that's going to be your fuel economy as well as your towing and payload. So I don't mess this up, I'm just going to go ahead and read this off to you guys. The official manufacturer estimated EPA fuel economy is going to be 19 city, 22 highway, 21 combined for the Capstone model with the 4-wheel drive system. You will be able to get up to 24 miles per gallon with like a 2-wheel drive and a different trim level in the iForce Max hybrid, because it's going to be available starting on the limited trim level and moving up until you get to the Capstone, where it is included as standard equipment. And as far as your max towing on the Capstone, it's 10,340 pounds with a 1,485 pound payload capacity.
Alrighty guys, so that is our first acceleration in the iForce Tundra. This is the hybrid.
Sure doesn't sound like a hybrid.
This is the meatiest hybrid I think I've ever heard in my life. We have a Prius in front of us. That's what I expect when I have a hybrid, but this is a hybrid powertrain. So as you can probably tell, this is not going to be like a Prius, and as we've alluded to throughout the entire review, this is mainly focused on power, but also giving you that efficiency as well. But it's a kind of a dual character car. It's not solely focused on fuel economy. So what we're looking at is a 3.5 liter twin turbo V6. It's going to be making 437 horsepower, 583 pound-feet of torque, which is more power than that Ford F-150 Powerboost.
By a little bit.
Just a little bit. Mm-hmm. And as you can tell, it sounds really, really good. Now, some of that is due to the sound amplification that Toyota is pushing into this cabin, but
it sure sounds like you have a V8, really.
It really does, and it's kind of funny to know that you have a hybrid truck, and then that's the noise it makes.
That torque is really nice.
It's just very, very torque rich, and as you can see, just pushing down the accelerator there, it's very quick to kick down a gear to the 10-speed automatic transmission and just get you the power that you need. And like Drew said, with the nearly 600 pound-feet of torque, it can get you up to speed very quickly.
Right, and the electric motor can fill in torque while the turbo spool. That's why this definitely feels quite a bit faster than the standard 3.5 twin turbo by itself. Now we're in California today, and we're on a pretty bumpy and rough road, but we're gonna go ahead and get a sound level reading anyways. Once
we're going 55 now.
We're at 55.
Yep.
Okay, so 59.6 is the measure we were getting. And
Wow.
This takes us to a very good point about the Capstone model. And that's the fact that one of the things Toyota's done is added acoustic glass here in the front to help quiet down the cabin further from the regular version. And that is indeed supported because we're on a rough road here.
This is way rougher than what we tested in Lexington.
Exactly. I don't know the order you guys will see these videos pop up, but we've tested a Limited in our local area on a much smoother road, and we were getting a number that was higher than that,
decibels,
right?
yeah. So we're looking at quite a 4 decibel improvement on a rougher road. So if you're doubting what they've done with this Capstone to make it more premium, sometimes brands will say that. I can definitely just hear off the seat of my pants there's not nearly as much wind noise as the lower end Tundras. And I think the wind noise was really where most of the noise was coming from, and that acoustic glass definitely helps.
Right.
Now, also in terms of ride quality, this particular tester does have the optional rear air suspension. We also have adaptive dampers, and that is another point that I want to talk about because the Capstone definitely has a lot smoother of a ride quality than the Limited that we just tested out just a few days ago. It really is an exceptional ride quality. We've hit a few bumps. This road is extremely rough. It's wavy, and it is doing a fantastic job.
It's totally taking out the harshness.
Yeah.
You can still feel the bump is there, of course, but it doesn't have such a harsh impact, and you don't have the reverberations that run through the chassis. And since this video, of course, is focused on this iForce Max powertrain, I should mention which trim levels it's available on. So you will be able to option this on the Limited trim level, the 1794, as well as the Platinum, and then it is standard, as we mentioned, on this Capstone.
Yeah. Also standard on this Capstone is going to be 4-wheel drive. So this is a 4-wheel drive only, but you can get the hybrid paired with 2-wheel drive as well on the lower end trim levels.
But we're driving a hybrid after all, so let's talk fuel economy. You might be wondering how much of a difference that the hybrid powertrain makes. Even with all the extra power, you are going to have a better fuel economy rating than the standard motor. This Capstone version with standard 4-wheel drive is coming in at 19 city, 22 highway, 21 combined. You can do a little bit better than that if you choose a different trim level, which will give you the availability of 4-wheel drive. But other than that, that is the rating for the Capstone model.
Yeah. And it is worth noting that is a little bit less than the F-150 Powerboost equivalently. But overall, it is certainly an improvement over the previous generation Tundra, which came in at 13 miles a gallon combined.
No kidding. More power, better fuel economy, that's a win-win. Alright guys, let's do our slam dunk and airball for the day. So for this, we have a kind of an interesting spin on things. I'll start off with the slam dunk. That's going to be this iForce Max hybrid powertrain. Very impressed by this behind the wheel. It really just works so well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a thing you kind of forget that you're driving a hybrid.
I wouldn't.
It's so smooth, the transition. You can really tell that Toyota knows what they're doing with hybrids. As you know, they're a leader in hybrids. They've been doing it for a lot of years, and even though this is not directly related to the hybrids they use in their other products, it's still really nicely done, and the power on board is A+.
Yeah. Now, on the airball side of things, we would like to have a little bit better fuel economy. The F-150 does come in higher, as I mentioned earlier, and, you know, I would have just loved to have maybe seen a figure of around 25 miles a gallon combined. I think that would really push people to want this hybrid over the regular twin-turbo V6 that's offered in the Tundra.
But as you can probably tell by this point in the video, there is a lot to like with this new Tundra Capstone, but how much is this going to cost you? Because, you know, some of the competitors can be very pricey, and this does come in a little less than most of the competitors, but it's not exactly cheap either.
No.
So this Capstone model, as stated with standard hybrid and four-wheel drive is going to come in at $73,350 MSRP. You don't have much in terms of options. This specific example does have the
rear air suspension,
excuse me, and the adaptive dampers, and that's going to be $74,575 as equipped.
So what do we think overall about the Capstone Tundra? Well, this is a Tundra that costs around $75,000, maybe a little bit more depending on what equipment you get on your Tundra Capstone. But it's also a truck that I see has a lot of value even at that price point, because this is a full luxury vehicle. Here on the inside, you have leather everywhere. You have an amazing powertrain. You even get pretty good fuel economy for a giant truck like this. There's really a lot to like with this Tundra Capstone. It has very stiff competition coming in from the F-150, Ram, Silverado, but this definitely has a place in the truck market.
If you want to, like, with the Lexus of trucks, this is it.